we take a closer look at the world that we live in, and virtual connections are it's commonplace. Social media is like the driving force of our existence. And even with us having the ability to stay connected so easily, you can still see the irony that a lot more people feel alone. So why is that? I personally believe that it's because having genuine connections with people necessitates a certain amount of vulnerability. And this vulnerability is the type that has to seep past the exterior and touch your soul. But being vulnerable can be intimidating for a lot of people, which is why you go online and you see people who create these fantasy and perfect lives for themselves. And this is what they present to the world. It's not authentic. It's just not real. You scroll down uh, a social media feed, you can see how people have become experts at just wearing masks, essentially hiding our true selves and only presenting the polished versions of who we wish we were: happy, successful, and vulnerable. And we do this out of fear. We fear that if we reveal our true selves, the messy, imperfect, scared parts, that we're going to get rejected. So think of yourself as like a walking, talking art gallery. You've created yourself to be a dazzling facade, polished, unblemished, insta filtered. How many selfies do you take before you pick the absolute best one to post? You do this because you fear the judgment that's going to be placed on to you, onto your life, your choices, and so on and so forth. We fear sharing our hurt and the scars that have been left by all of our painful experiences. We fear people seeing our insecurities and weaknesses. We fear just not being liked. So what do? You build a wall, you keep it high, you guard your heart, because the spotlight of scrutiny can be both blinding and paralyzing at the same time. When you put your scars on display, then people are going to see your emotions and negatively judge you. The remnants of past heartbreaks and failures and disappointments have been put out there for everyone to see, and you fear that now these people are going to recoil, or even worse, they're going to pity you for all of your past hurts. They make snap judgments and say things like, well, maybe it's all your fault that you were hurt in this way, or that you failed in this way. And all this does is deepen the trauma that you might already be going through. So, in return, you begin to internalize the judgments being made about you, and you tell yourself that, well, maybe I'm just not good enough. Now you're caught up in this vicious cycle of trying to prove yourself only to get cut down. And when they cut you down, again, you try to prove yourself, and you're just going around and around and around in this never ending circle of proving yourself, being judged, proving you now it's like you find yourself in a mental space where the mantra is, if I never show them, they'll never know. You create this illusion of safety where you think that by ignoring your authentic self and only showing the world what you think they want to see, or the parts of you that won't garner any harsh criticism, that you're somehow better off because of it, because of the lies that you're telling to your audience. You begin collecting acquaintances like seashells on a beach. The connections might seem beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, they're very hollow. We have we have shallow conversations and make plans that only provide temporary joy. These relationships are so common that many of us can't even recall the last time we connected with a person on a deeper level. Someone that you could share your fears with, share your dreams with, or even talk about the things in your life that you regret. Many of the relationships that you have only echo your mental silence, and loneliness thrives in this superficiality. So now you're surrounded by people, yet your soul aches for some depth. We crave conversations that are going to peel back the layers, that explore the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are. So here's the thing, the honest truth of the matter. If you want an honest, real connection with people, you have to understand that these relationships require you to be totally open and authentic. You have to take the risk and admit things like, I'm scared, or I'm hurting, or I just don't have it all together. Real connection is not about flawless selfies or curated stories. It's about messy conversations at 2 a.m., mismatched socks, tear streaked laughter. It's holding hands and saying, I'm not sure where this path leads, but let's go explore it together. You have to learn to let go of the fear that you have of being disconnected. Let go of the fear of being rejected, because it's these fears that are the root cause of our failures to make true connections with other people. We assume that others won't understand or they won't accept us just as we are. We allow ourselves to believe that no one else in this world can understand our pain, and that we're the only ones going through the situations that we're in that moment. So, what do? We stay silent and we mask who we are. So, I mean, long story short, we have to start getting real. We need to be real with the people that we're around, the people who love and care about us. And most importantly, we have to get real with ourselves. Because believe it or not, it's not just you. We all share some of the same struggles as the people that we share spaces with. So when we dare to say, hey, I've been through that too, then we've just laid the first brick in the foundation of authentic connection. When you share your honest experiences, you're going to find that suddenly you're not so alone. You also have to be open and actively listen to others when they are sharing with you. Authentic connections thrive on active listening skills. So when someone shares their joy, their pain, their story, we honor them by hearing what they say. Being present for one another shows that they matter, that you matter to one another. Right. Thank you so much for that. Just to sum it all up, opening up to others means that you're putting your courage over your comfort. So you have to look at your vulnerability as being courage in action. It's choosing to be your authentic self, no matter how you think others are going to judge you for it. Those who will judge you harshly for your very human self are the same people who wear masks and hide who they truly are. They are the ones who fear judgment, and they are projecting their very real insecurities onto other people. They are the ones who lack true connection with others and are the very last people that you should be listening to when it comes to uh, speaking on making connections with other people.
And twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of